The favourite with no chance of winning. When he won last year, the election was cancelled, and there are attempts to eliminate him from subsequent ones. Support for Georgescu continues to grow and the Romanian streets are seething. This is not democracy, this is some kind of nonsense. What is happening now in Romania has nothing to do with democracy. If he really isn't allowed to run, it means that we really don't have democracy anymore, and there is nothing to look for here. A few months ago, Georgescu unexpectedly won the first round of the presidential election in Romania. But then, the election was annulled by the Romanian Constitutional Court, and Georgescu was accused of fraud and Russian influence. Evidence, to this day, is yet to be provided. The action against him was, however, openly supported by Brussels Eurocrats.
I think everybody's tired, because this is like a never-ending telenovela in continuous mode since November, December, and we have to close this by mid-May and resume. I wouldn't necessarily say normalcy, because our country has changed quite a lot in the past 1.5 years of so many elections, but at least resume some sense of planning, some sense of public policies, government, and we have a lot of catching up in terms of image and influence abroad.
The political chaos was compounded by the Central Electoral Office's decision on Sunday to exclude Georgescu from the presidential rerun election scheduled for May. Riots broke out in the streets of Bucharest. This decision is a blatant violation of the Constitution, which shows that it has no meaning at all, that you can do anything to anyone with any piece of paper. The future does not look bright, and not just for Romania, but for the whole of Europe and beyond. The unstable situation in Romania is being highlighted by the new White House administration. The United States is watching the events in the country with concern, and Vice President J.D. Vance has pointed to Romania as one example of the European Union moving away from democratic values.
You do not have shared values if you're jailing people for saying we should close down our border. You don't have shared values if you cancel elections because you don't like the result, and that happened in Romania. You do not have shared values if you're so afraid of your own people that you silence them and shut them up. So let's have shared values. Let's defend democracy. Let's have free expression, not just in the United States, but all over the Western world. That is the path to strong alliances in Europe.
According to observers, a similar scenario to the one in Romania, the annulment of the elections and the exclusion of one of the candidates, is possible in other EU countries, including Poland. What we are observing today in Romania is a very dangerous situation, because we can see that through manual political steering, the rules of democracy are disturbed, and this can happen in any country. And in view of the elections in Poland, it is a situation that gives a lot of food for thought, because looking at the actions of some politicians of the current pro-European ruling coalition, we cannot exclude a similar situation taking place in Poland. In last year's annulled elections in Romania, Georgescu won more than 20% of the vote. Now, more than 30% would like to vote for him. He is leading the pre-election polls.